Well, I started in high school and I really enjoyed learning a second language. I even took a year of Russian. I just really enjoyed the challenge of it. And I always wanted to go, maybe live in do a foreign exchange program or live in another country, and that never worked out. So it kind of just always stayed on my bucket list. All throughout my professional life, I've gone to Mexico to work at different manufacturing facilities and had an opportunity to kind of be surrounded by Spanish for a week here and there. And, was very aware that I wasn't able to speak it, but I still had that desire to learn it. So I feel like I knew a lot of words, individual words, and can kind of pick out, if I saw a memo come through in Spanish or an email in Spanish, I could make out what was said, or at least the gist of what was happening. But to hear it or have a conversation, not at all. And, I would maybe order food in a restaurant on vacation. Really just wasn't where it needed to be in order to actually speak Spanish. You try once and then default to English immediately. This is the right time. I have an opportunity to speak Spanish at my job once a month, and this is the right time to be serious about this. So I tried a bunch of different apps, and I found the podcast for the LearnCraft Spanish, and I was impressed that I was learning things that I didn't know in the very first episodes, and it seemed like, okay, this is a lot of value for the time getting put in. And I thought, okay, well, there's some accountability that would be nice to have and some structure. Because I had probably been about episode 30 by then, I was doing it fairly seriously on my own. I thought it would be a really good opportunity to take it to the next level. So I'm glad I did. We started off with just, are you saying the sounds correctly? Are you reading correctly? And then the way the coaches introduced the material and reviewed the material it made a lot of sense. The easiest thing in the world is to translate it like typing. That's very easy. And then it was, can you hear what I'm saying? And then write it down. And then finally, can you talk back to me? So the structure was really nice. And this is doable. This is a little more challenging. This is very challenging. So each session had a little bit of feeling competent, stretching, and then really hard. Well, I appreciate the feedback on how to speak with a better accent. And I could use a lot more work on that, but I'm starting to be able to maybe roll my R's. I understand you're supposed to move all the words together. When you're trying to learn, you think, my goodness, they speak so fast. It was interesting to be told, no, it's supposed to sound like that. You're supposed to put all the words, right together. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was trying to figure out how to differentiate the words versus understand it all together. So it was good perspective on how it's supposed to be done and sound. And it's great to be able to ask questions like, I don't understand why these go in this order. And, you have to try and figure that out from context without someone to be like, wait, I don't understand. Help me explain in different ways. That was really good. Well, now I'm not afraid to try and speak Spanish. I have people at my factory who say, they'll say, entiendo, or, we understand you. I can hear it a lot better. So every single month when I go to the factory, I go to their morning meetings so that I'm exposed every morning to just a 15-minute dialogue in Spanish. And I can hear and understand more and more and more every time I go out there. I would say if they're serious about learning Spanish, this is the way to do it, other than maybe going to a university class or something. But it's super convenient. You can do it on your own time. It required a commitment. It doesn't promise that you get a lot of things that say 1 month you'll be fluent. No way. The supporting materials and there's listening and speaking and reading and talking, and it really hits all of the different parts of learning a language. And that's super helpful.